Entertainers around the world have been forced to stop working or find ways to adapt over the last 9 months. One group that has been hit particularly hard is magicians. They do things with borrowed objects, up close with people, and often with a spectator's hands, all things that are pretty much outlawed these days. I've been performing magic for 8 years, but this situation has still been quite the challenge. I started by doing outdoor, socially distant events in the summer, and now I'm doing exclusively Zoom magic shows. But I'm not the only one doing video magic. Gary Farrar in New York has become one of the nation's top Zoom magicians, and he's found more success in the virtual format than he could have ever dreamed of.
My name is Gary Farrar. I am a magician and mentalist based out of New York. As of April, I switched over to doing it virtually, and it's super casual. No one wants to just sit there on mute and watch somebody show off on the other end of the screen. They want it to feel like a party. And that's what I've been doing. I'm now at over 450 virtual paid private performances. The Thursday and the Friday leading up to Halloween on Saturday, I did like 27 events in 3 days. You know, literally every day I'm getting 4 or 5 requests for December, and it's gonna sell out. That kind of volume obviously is never possible in an in-person scenario. You can't get to that many places.
But it's not just your everyday traveling magicians who have been affected by the virus.
Hi, I'm Sean Farquhar, 2-time world champion of magic, past president of the International Brotherhood of Magicians. I perform all kinds of magic.
Sean worked on cruise ships 285 days a year, performing around the globe for decades, and he's found success on shows like Ellen and Penn & Teller Fool Us, as well as being the true magic champion, winner of the Grand Prix at the World Championships of Magic.
Oh, and I live in Canada. I should mention that. I was working on ships. I was working for Disney a lot and touring a lot. 285 days a year. I didn't sleep at home. I just had enough. I thought it would be really great. As much as I love being on Disney, in the Walt Disney Theater, 1,250 people a show, I was away from my family a lot. The ship came into Vancouver and went, why have I never played down there? This is really cool. Saw a place that was available for rent, so I rented it and thought, I'll try it for like September and October. I just will say no to cruise ships for a couple months. And in a couple of days, I sold out all the shows in September and October. All of a sudden, I was booked right through till May. And I just said to everybody else, I don't want to go back out. I just really like this.
Although he enjoyed success at his new theater for a little while, just a few months after opening, they had to close down when coronavirus hit.
We packed everything out of the building, and the man who owned the building lost the building because no one was paying any rent. So we went looking and found another one. On August 15th, the Minister of Health in Canada, her name is Bonnie Henry, she said things could commence again, up to 50 people. We waited a little bit longer. So I opened the show on August 28th. I follow all the COVID protocols that they put in place. So to enter my theater, you go through a secret wall. You need a doorknob. So we have a bunch of doorknobs, and each person gets their own doorknob to go in and out. I put everything into my head about how would I feel safe and what would it take for me to go out. But I knew I could do it safely and still have a good time.
I'm Rick Wilcox. We opened up the theater in 1999. And it's a 600-seat theater. Been doing magic since I was 15 years old. We've had a lot of fun with it.
In Wisconsin Dells, Rick Wilcox has had his own theater for 21 years, and this proved to be his most unique season yet.
We had hundreds of reservations for all of our spring break shows. We had to refund everybody's money back. Then we waited, and some of the Dells businesses started to open up in June, so we started to prepare. We had to do every other row. Every other day we would switch that around, and with 6 feet in between each seat. Customers were happy with that. We have some hazers in the theater that is a detriment to the virus, which is great. So we would haze the whole theater. We asked customers to wear masks, but we couldn't police that. So some of them did, some of them didn't. We did no audience participation. So it's not the best year, but it's okay. We'll do the best we can.
But things just aren't the same, and they aren't the same for any magician. But using the same creative skills they use to build their shows, magicians around the world have adapted and been able to take their careers to new places in order to stay afloat.